Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Um, yeah, I see y'all selling me out. The Dark Vulcan and Victor Creed. Look, I was earlier than what both of y'all said. Drop the coins. Right. Shout out to the Dark Vulcan who says, "I'm saying that Z will show up at 9:27." Victor Creed said, "I bet he'll show up at 9:35." 9:20. 9:20. Right. So let's go through it. Shout out to Armio Se Friendpong, the Funky Academic, right? Shout out to the Funky Academic for this. Right? This was really good. Short and to the point, right? Short and to the point, speaking about life or lifestyle, right? Life or lifestyle. And we already know the answer. Sorry, um, Army. Yeah, it's lifestyle. For the ladies, oh, they picking lifestyle all day, every day. 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, right? And it's understandable, right? They have a neoliberal lens of men and masculinity. They have commodified men, right? And so let's read the definition of commodification. Commodification, right? Within a capitalist economic system, commodification is the transformation of things such as goods, services, ideas, nature, personal information, people or animals into objects excuse me, into objects of trade or commodities. Into objects of trade or commodities, right? Transformation of things such as goods, services, ideas, nature, personal information, people, 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 or animals into objects of trade or commodities. Well, dear XX chromosome side of the game, I think they calling y'all out, right? I think they're calling y'all out, right? So this just reminds me of a number of people, right? A number of people, namely women, but some men, if we're gonna be honest, that speak about the black community and black men in particular, in manhood and masculinity, like we're nothing but walking wallets and overglorified guard dogs, and we should be proud to be that. Right? That should be the goal, be the best walking wallet and overglorified guard dog, right? That you can possibly be. That's how you define your manhood and your masculinity. Right? That's what they're saying. So this reminds Mr. Z of, Chrissy making fun of women in 50-50 relationships. Yanni saying, what's the incentive? I want to be a kept woman of leisure. If you can't afford me that, then ain't no point. Which, okay. You know? It reminds me of Kim Foster speaking about class every 5 seconds. Class, you're not of my class. Black community don't respect class, class, class. Right? So now we know. So this was a great coverage. Army got straight to the point within what, 6.5 minutes, give or take. And yes, we already know something like 70 to 80% of divorces are filed by women. If they're college educated, that goes up to 90% of the divorces that are filed by women. Right? They have a very neoliberal lens of men and masculinity. They're the ones who's turning them, because they never question white hyper-capitalists, right? They never question the money men. They just want to get with them. Oops. So it's them who have turned marriage into a signal of class elitism, because it's about the lifestyle, right? What's the point of being married if you can't afford me the lifestyle? not stability, which is what is beautiful about our current environment, is more and more women are saying, particularly black women, because they're so loud, that their stability, who's looking for that? That's basic B territory. I'm not no basic B. It's luxury life for nothing. As a matter of fact, I would rather be poor by myself than be with a man that affords me stability. No. If it's not extravagant, if it's not opulent, then what is it? Why is this man here? Right? So we just have to be honest about the environment, and that is what the environment is dictating. That is what the women are saying through actions and, quite frankly, through words. Right? Through actions and through words. So what Army covered here is, great, right? As I said, boiling black men in general, but black men in particular, into walking wallets and overglorified guard dogs. And we already know this by, the American Enterprise Institute and what it covered a few years ago, some 5 or 6 years ago at this point, right? Where, as I say all the time, 26% of poor Americans are married, right? 26% of poor Americans, 39% of middle class Americans, and 56% of upper middle class and above Americans are married. We have turned marriage into an exercise in class elitism. And the people that are looking forward to, and Crystal Ball from Breaking Points covered this years ago. The people that are looking forward to marriage are the upper middle class and above. Other people are not just marriage, family, having children and being married are upper middle class and above. Everyone else is dreading it. And there you go. The women are saying lifestyle or nothing. Decades of lifestyle advertisement has gotten us here. Dear Miss Christine Emba, Dr. Richard Reeves, Dr. Scott Galloway, etc., FD Signifier, etc. This is where we are. It's your daughters, it's America's daughters that are saying, yeah, about those relationships and marriage and children. Could I be with a rich man first? At least upper middle class. I'll settle for upper middle class, a few $100,000 a year. Right? If I can't have that, then what are you asking me to be poor and destitute and have a child? Why would I do that to myself? Right? Why would I do that to myself? And we have to be honest, like that's a thing. Yes, it's a real thing. Right? And so yes, that does have you notice like at one point we were speaking about this like it's just some pop culture thing, it's just something going on in the black community and black men and black women and their wayward non-relationships. Then come to find out it's way bigger than black men and black women. Then come to find out it's way more than an American thing. Right? Then come to find out it's kind of dictated by class. Right? Your class position says a whole lot. Your income level for men says a whole lot. right? It's the women that are saying economically unattractive men are leading to a downturn in marriage, right? They're looking for a lifestyle. What did Trail say? The lifestyle is the life. And we're not here in the Black manosphere to dictate to women what they should want, but there are consequences, especially if you're delusional as hell, especially if you're not paying attention to the environment or you don't even care about the environment. Right? So, I thought this was important to cover. I'm not sure how many of you would have watched it before the hand, so I definitely wanted to. And I'm going to tag the Funky Academic. By the way, I also said this is somebody I would love to interview and just get his ideas, especially as a married man. Yes, he's married to a white woman, but as a married Black man, what does he just think, about the intricacies of Black men and Black women relationships or lack thereof, right? Right. And how we just throw away the Black relationship, right? We use it's just so flippantly. This it's nothing, right? We have to keep on saying it. It has to be said. Mr. Z is not gonna let up off of it. It's your daughters, and dear America, clearly you don't know how to fix this. Have fun. You don't know how to fix this. You didn't think this was going to turn into a cold war between the men and the women all across the West, all across America, all across the Black community. You don't really care about the Black community, but all across America. The women pretty much saying the men are dusty, and the men saying, all right, bet. Go eat some vagina, go fight for the top 20%. You didn't actually think the men were going to call the women's bluff. You thought the men were going to be vagina starved and break and work themselves into an early grave for delusional women. Unfortunately, the men have the internet and social media and internet porn and video games and friends, right? Right. So unfortunately, that's just not the call your bluff for the men. Yeah, working. Unfortunately for women and for society, that dog don't hunt anymore. Right. If the women want a lifestyle, if advertisement really works, duh. If advertisement really works, if we've been selling women this kind of infinite upward mobility, get your degree and get a lifestyle, get your degree, get a man and get a lifestyle, right? You're rich, Prince Charming, over 6 foot chisel chin, Tyrone or Brad is waiting for you at the end of your academic career or at the somewhere during your career when you're just about to reach the highest heights, right when you get that corner office job, right? If that's what we've been selling the women, and they talk, listen to how the ladies talk about men. Where's my person? Where's my man? The men are not on our level. Not like you're a human being. Not like there's systems that function on you also in a negative way. Like you're a thing that's not working correctly, right? Like you're a thing that's not working correctly. Why isn't this toy working? Who wants to spend $10 on this when they're not the ones who's really spending the money? Let's be clear, right? So yeah, the numbers don't look immaculate for the ladies. Oh well, right? So when y'all hear Mr. Z call the ladies bluff, and as a matter of fact, we're not even in the position of calling bluff anymore. We're just straight up saying it. Yeah, go eat some vagina, go do the same sex loving thing, or go lobby the U.S. government to make polygamy legal. Go fight for that top 20% guy, and there you go. And by the way, like if you think Mr. Z is just saying that or just pulling out of my ass, look at the numbers. Look at who's getting married. Look at the divorce rate. Look at who's getting divorced, who's staying married, who's filing for divorce. Okay, let's say that part again. Who's filing for divorce? All that talk about character flaw, it was never character flaw. It was always lifestyle, right? Especially in the black community, it was pretty much always lifestyle. Whatever delusion she has in her head that she didn't tell you about, that she's holding you to. TikTok, right? Here's the kicker. She might not even realize she's doing it. Right? Y'all remember the homegirl that called in to Kevin Samuels? Man in his 20s, earning $75,000 a year, and she still feel like he's not earning enough, right? More than most men in America ever earn in their lifetime. Once again, ladies, 2/3 of men in America, I didn't say black men, I said men, never earn more than $65,000 a year. 2/3. And yet this young lady has a man in his 20s earning $75,000 a year, and she's thinking about breaking up with him because he doesn't earn enough. And there you go. The lifestyle. And by the way, that is far more common. Let's not make it seem like a one-off thing, because some people are gonna listen into this, and the feminists are gonna listen into this and be like, well, okay, so one-off. No, no, no. Uber common. And let's be very clear. If this was just 1% of women that thought like this, 5% of women, right? But clearly, based off what we see going on with millennials and Gen Z, oh no, this is a significant amount of people, right? This is a significant amount of people. Amount of women. Sorry, excuse me, amount of women. So it's not about assortative mating, it's about hypergamy. Y'all tell me how the women are supposed to practice hypergamy when they're enrolled in college compared to men 60-40 split. How is it supposed to work? And by the way, that number does not look like it's reversing anytime soon. Right? 60-40 split in college enrollment. Under a certain age, they earn far more than their, well, not far more, but they earn more than their male counterparts. Under the age of what, I think 30, right? So now that we know it's the lifestyle, once again, beauty of the internet will expose us all. You let the women talk long enough and they straight up told you, okay, you know what? I'm not even looking for stability. I'm looking for a lifestyle. I want to be a kept woman of leisure. And by the way, Yeti's not the only one that said that. What's the name of that show out of Britain where the sister said the same thing? Right? The African sister, they were filming it in Britain, right? A bunch of Caribbean and African cats in Britain, and the sister said the same thing. I'm gonna be a kept woman of leisure, right? And she don't care to be. And she said it herself. She didn't care if she was wife number 9. So yeah, that's in the UK, but same difference. This is how you can have black people not even a good 60 years out of the civil rights movement. Black women, not even a good 60 years out of the civil rights movement. Talking about black men like dogs. Because they have a neoliberal lens. They have white female sensibilities. They are black women with white female sensibilities. That is why it is okay for them to speak about aborting black male sons. That's some white feminist stuff from the 19th century, early 20th century. That's why they can talk about wanting to destroy the black community. Once again, white feminist talking points. That's why they can rail on about class like black isn't your class in America. Once again, white bourgeoisie feminist talking points. That's why they could talk about wanting to be a kept woman of leisure. Fake ass wannabe European aristocrat talking points. Right? That's why they sound like that. They're black women with white female sensibilities. The oppressed often take on the worst characteristics of the oppressor. Was that a Fanon quote? Right? And these are the people that call you socially awkward. These are the people that are so quick to call you a coon, you a sellout. The only black women they acknowledge as a sellout is Candace Owens. She got to be that extreme. As if they don't have sellouts on the left. As if advocating for black women in a vacuum isn't sellout behavior. God damn, Mr. Z. Because who the black women supposed to marry? Oops. Who they supposed to have kids with? Yikes. What, those 10% of white dudes that's interested? Not even 10%. 1%. That's a fact, by the way. Yeah, Kim Foster. Advocating for black women in a vacuum. Yeah. Not looking good. 5 decades later. All right. So it is unfortunately, funky academic, it is the lifestyle. Unfortunately. And so we're watching so many young black women, particularly upwardly mobile black women. They don't hear nothing you're saying, Army. It's not like some mumbo jumbo loser talk. And this is from a brother, I think Army's still in his PhD program, if I'm not mistaken. For them, it's just a bunch of loser black man talk that don't want to step up and get on our level and do for us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they go from their 20s to their 30s to their 40s to their 50s in situationship after situationship, failed relationship after failed relationship, maybe married once, no kids, and there you go. Every decade, it's still the men's fault. It's not my delusional mindset. It's not that I'm looking at black men through a very neoliberal lens, that I've commodified masculinity and manhood. It's none of that. It's not even that I have a delusional idea of what men are, because even when I dated the white dude, it didn't work. Even when I dated the other white dude, it didn't work. Even when I switched it up and dated a Latino guy, it didn't work. No, it's not that. It couldn't possibly be me. It's the men. Right. It's the men. Right. Tyra Banks, it's the men. Holly Berry, it's wait, let's do that one more time. Better yet, Tyra Banks, it's black men. Halle Berry, it's black men. Right? K Michelle, it's black men. Then they go date white men. Now it's the men. Y'all can find a video of Tyra Banks saying, I tried with black men, I tried. How's it working with the white guy? Ooh, the one you had the kid with. Ooh, goddamn, yikes, oops. K Michelle, same. Halle Berry, definitely same. There's so much of her trying to do the character assassination on every black dude she ever dated. Then she got two white dudes fighting. Uh-oh. Ladies, could it be you? No? Okay, all right. Your patron Saint Bell Hooks was even confused. Um, everywhere I went, you know, I was looking for love and I found patriarchy. Moments later, oh wait, you fell in love with a man when that wasn't about his money. Whoop, not the man for me. Your patron saint sounded like that, ladies. All you feminists out there, you Kim Fosters and Khadijas that keep on throwing bell hooks in our face. Your patron saint sounded like that, Khadijah. Kim Foster, T Noir, Nappy Headed Jojoba, Cat Black. Y'all love throwing bell hooks in our face. Even you, Julesy, you ain't safe. Love throwing bell hooks quotes in our face. You watched the interview with bell hooks and Gloria Steinem. Everywhere I went, and that was such a throwaway line to white feminists. Everywhere I went, I was looking for love, and I found nothing but patriarchy. Moments later, oh wait, be with a broke man. Oh, not the man for me. And there you go, looking for a lifestyle, bragging about having a Beamer. Loser talk. What she said, she was what, celibate for some 17 years? She could have been lying, but she said it. And that's all. And better you said, bell hooks is not as insightful as some make her out to be. She intellectualized her misandry, man, and they know it. FD Signifier knows it. That's why That's why he peeks in every once in a while here and there. That's why he's a bit conflicted. Don't ever get it twisted. He is a gynocrat through and through, but he's a little conflicted because he's a man. He gotta run up on these women and their hypocrisy all the time. It's not like the women who they ignore their own hypocrisy. He's a black man. He know, right? That's why he said, the black, they're not as resilient. Resilient for who? Nah, nah. FD, tell your wife to move over and go. You making good YouTube money now. Go pick up another two, three women. All you dudes, foreign man in a foreign land, Bahamian brother. Fine, go. Come back to the U.S. Come pick up another three, four of them. Go back, right? Consciously, I see your lady, your wife, super light skin, fair skin. Come back and go pick up the rainbow. Go get you a darker skin, a light skin, but slightly darker skin, light skin woman. Then get you a copper tone caramel type light woman, right? Or brown skin black woman. Then get you a darker skin black woman. Then get you a darker skin black woman. All of y'all. Khadijah, you're queer. You making good YouTube money. Come get them, right? All that talk, right? And y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna pause right here. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. We're still here. We're still here, everyone. Give me 20 seconds. Okay, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Okay. Yeah. So, all right, making sure everything is good over here on my end. Yeah. So, yeah. So the lifestyle is usually it's almost always. That's why the title is what it is. It's almost always the lifestyle, and it's understandable. These people were advertised to with borderline crack cocaine lifestyle, like ballerific lifestyle. Think about being a young woman watching Real Housewives or whatever the hell, in their McMansions, in their Range Rovers, and you've been watching this with your mama since you was 14 years old, 13 years old, 12 years old. Now you're 22, 23, 25. You practically grew up on Nene Leaks, right? So of course they're delusional. Of course they're looking for a lifestyle, right? You grew up watching Love and Hip Hop. You watched as Cardi B went kind of from a no name to Bodak Yellow to Married to Offset to you watch that. Of course they're delusional. Of course they're delusional. They're looking at these one-off people and saying, if she could do it, why I can't do it? And it, by the way, it's not exclusive to maybe some of the sisters that are not, not so formally educated and whatnot. Kim Foster is sounding like that as a Harvard grad, using literal porn stars as an example of whore-like behavior not being a limiting factor to you being married. What? Right? But of course she sounds like that. Why wouldn't she sound like that? Why wouldn't she sound like that? Because as educated as she is, she's subject to the same environment also. Chrissy tells you I'm in my luxury apartment while you can hear it in her voice. She says it alone, lamenting being by her goddamn self. Yanni doing everything in her power to not to think about that she's got by her goddamn self. Getting sex from men is easy, right? Let's start a series called Decenter Men. Decentering men. Yanni, go call your homegirls and tell them you need some friend time. Look, I'm lonely. Y'all all got dudes now. Y'all all got kids now. Could I get at least 2 days out the month? Right? And it's okay to say it. Look, I don't have no man, y'all do. And I feel lonely and you know, it's a constant reminder every time I scroll through my IG and see y'all living y'all best life. And I'm not, right? Hysterical, Trell. Right? It's okay to just be honest about it. But it's the lifestyle. The lifestyle thing is real. Thank you, Army, for covering this. The lifestyle thing is real. These women are willing to be single and miserable, pretending like they're not, because it's either all. Excuse me. It's either all or nothing. And they moms and aunts didn't make it no better for them, right? So they sound the way they sound. That lifestyle thing is real. It's costing a whole lot of people. Well, actually, is it costing men? I mean, outside of, getting scammed on some foodie call date, it's actually probably saving men, especially now. Millennials and Gen Z, the ones of them especially that listen to the Black Manosphere and understand what's going on, it's actually saving them some money. Please, ladies, continue to be loud as hell. But is this affecting family formation? Oh, most definitely. The birth rate? Oh, you better believe it. U.S. population? Most definitely. Because one of us is far more delusional than the other one. America advertised to its Gen X, Millennial, and Gen Z children heavy, no filter. Both the boys and the girls, the men and the women. But one of us took this way too far, took the advertising way too seriously and too literally. And now we can't get it out of our head. It's this or nothing. It's the lifestyle or nothing. Trell, that was a genius comment. The lifestyle is the life. I really, I really want these people to really understand the difference in what women say and what they really mean when they say what they say. Men are not on my level. Translation: men are not balling enough. It don't matter if I only make 40 grand a year. Where are the men that make 70 plus? If I'm being nice. Where do men that make 100 plus? They're not looking for stability. They're looking for a lifestyle. And because they don't know money, they say 100. Shout out to the Roger Report. They really mean millionaires. I know couples that together are earning 130 something, 140 something. They're not driving what you think they're driving, right? Their home is pretty nice, but it ain't what you think it is because you just don't know money. You just don't know money, right? And because much of your life has been subsidized, and because you're not counting certain things, you're not counting the fact that, okay, you live at home with your parents. Your mom have you giving her $500, four, five, $600 towards some bills. But if you were living alone in a major city, a 1-1 right now at the cheapest would be running you $1,500 a month. That's a good $900 more than you're paying your mom. Right? And better you, I remember that story you told. You weren't the only one. Kevin Samuels had a sister call in and said pretty much the same. And it would have been the funniest thing in the world if that was the same chick. Oh, better you. What about if it was the same girl? What about if it was the same girl? Oh man, the world is that small, you know. That would have been hysterical, and better use his LOL my Popeye's girl story, right? And better you gave us a story a little while ago of him dating a young lady that worked at Popeyes, and you know he took her out, and you know she kind of had an idea of how much he made, and she thought it wasn't enough, and it was around when better you was earning like $75,000 a year. I would not be surprised if that was the same chick. I'm not saying it is, but the world is that small. Imagine that. Detroit says Uber Door Dashers. Bruh, how many of y'all, let's be honest, your Uber driver and your DoorDash and your what's the other one? Instacart and all that other stuff, they pull it up in Teslas. They pull it up in C class Benzes. They pull it up in Beamer 3 Series. Benz CLAs because they can't afford a bigger, better Benz. Let's be honest. Come on now. They pull up in Tesla, the Tesla 3. All right. They pull up in BMW X1s and X3s. Right. GLC Benzes. Right. What happened? And these are the same people that speak to you like they're better than you. Because the lifestyle. We're not even talking about the sisters pulling up in the Ultima Energy, or the Camrys or whatnot. No, we're talking about the sisters pulling up in Benz C classes. She got her little baby Benz. Shout out to Indigo Flow. Right? She pulled up in her baby Benz. And if you had it like that, you wouldn't be doing this little gig job. The difference is the men admit, no, I needed some extra cash. You know, I did it for a little while. It wasn't for me, or I'm still doing it. No, not the ladies. They pride won't let them admit, I need a man. Right? They're listening to Chrissy a little too much. Yanni a little too much. Kim Foster a little too much. Didn't they tell you about the how many of these white girls are Ivy League, students and even Ivy League graduates? Let me say that again. Even Ivy League graduates doing the sugar baby thing? Uh-oh. Right? The lifestyle. The lifestyle has them delusional. They've been marketed to for 30, 40 years of their life. 25, 30, 40 years of their life. Lifestyle branding, 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 branding. And the difference between men and women is very simple. We know nobody gonna buy it for us. So you could be materialistic as a man, but you know you gotta go get it. That's the fundamental difference. Yeah, we were hit with advertising galore also, but you know nobody's paying for that Scat Pack charger for you. That's the difference. What are they, $40,000, $45,000? You know you gotta go and get it. Right? You want that Mustang 5.0, you gotta go and get it. You want that F-150, you have to go and get it. You want that Dodge Rebel, you have to go and get it. That Beamer 5 Series, that Benz E-Class, you have to go and get it. That Audi A6, that Audi S7, you have to go and get it. The SQ8, you have to go and get it. You know that. There is no idea of some woman swooping through. You work at the gas station, right? You work at a restaurant. You a bank teller, and somehow some woman just swoops through, finds you attractive, whisk you away, and puts you in a Hellcat or the Durango Hellcat, the Jeep Trackhawk, just because you don't have those dreams. So even if you are materialistic, you know you have to go get it. Or if you just have, it may not even be materialistic. You have aspirations for these particular things. These are things that matter to you. And notice, I didn't even go to the six-figure vehicles. I didn't say nothing about no TRX. I didn't say nothing about no Lamborghini Urus, no Rolls-Royce Cullinan, no Bentley Bentayga. I didn't say anything about that. Rolls-Royce Ghost, Benz S600 Maybach. I didn't say anything about those vehicles. But you know it's on you. Not so much the ladies. No, for the ladies, it's still on you. It ain't on them. Right? The G wagon. Boy, if there's not a greater sign of basic B aspiration, it got to be the G wagon. Their G wagon is never going to see a speck of dirt off road. Right? Their G wagon is never going to see a not one single off road nothing. It's not climbing up nothing. Right? Mall crawlers. That's what we call them. That's what it's going to be. A waste of off-road capability. One of the original kind of off-road vehicles is the G-Wagon, it's the Bronco, it's the Jeep Wrangler, the Toyota FJ Cruiser, pretty much the Land Cruiser, the Nissan Petrol. There's a couple of these SUVs, these real SUVs that people know. You pretty much could go anywhere on the planet with this thing. And the G-Wagon is one of them. The Land Rover Defender, the first and second gen Range Rovers, if they work, right? And the ladies want G-Wagons. This G-Wagon ain't never gonna see a speck of dirt ever. Right? And Indigo Flow says baby Benz tax, hysterical. Right? Exactly, Detroit. But I own it. Right? Oh, you're talking about your Lincoln Navigator. Okay, okay. Thought you were talking about the Benz G-Wagon and how they sound. But I own it, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, ladies, if the lifestyle is what it is, then that's fine. If you have commodified men and masculinity, particularly black men, then that's okay. But you have to deal with what's on the other side of that equal sign. You have to deal with the consequences. Let's give the definition of commodification again. And I've done this multiple times on my channel, and I'm always going to bring this up occasionally because, right? Commodification. Within a capitalist economic system, commodification is the transformation of things such as goods, services, ideas, nature, personal information, people, or animals into objects of trade or commodities. Commodification. Right? You see what I'm saying, Dre? $2,000 oil changes. For those of you that remember Kev on Stage, shout out to Kev on Stage. I think at one point he had a Maserati, and he has this video. It's so funny. And it's in black and white, and he went to go do an oil change, and I think they gave him the crazy ass oil change price, and I think it was only like $600 or something. It was something dumb. It was like $600 or $900. It was expensive as hell, but it wasn't no $2,000 expensive, right? And like he had the background, it was black and white, and he had the like "Hello, my old friend" in the background, like the music, right? And I was dying. And then you see, this is when it's very interesting. And shout out to Jason Black for this, right? Like when he says that women won't spend that money on themselves. They won't spend it on their homegirls. Their homegirls won't spend that type of money on them, but they definitely expect you to spend that type of money on them, right? And he kind of used this when he was speaking about Kendra G and her Bentley, which is an older Bentley, but it's still I like those Bentleys. I like that generation Bentley, right? That was the one that all the rappers were talking about, right? When they were talking about the Bentley coupes, the Bentley GT coupes, that was the generation Bentley they were all talking about. Now we done moved on to Rolls Royce Wraiths, right? But he is 100% correct on that, right? And so Kev on Stage had that video on his IG, and then the women started telling the truth. My oil change is only $70. My oil change is only $30. My oil change is only this. My oil change is only that. And a couple of them were like, "Well, I got a Range Rover, and the oil change is $1,000. It was $1,000." So a few of them said that, but for the vast majority of them, it was like, "Hell no, not me." Well, that's why I got my little Corolla. Well, that's why I got my little Camry. And yet, y'all want to meet some random dude to put you in one of those cars and pay that type of oil change fee. Put you in a Maserati Ghibli. Horrible reliability, by the way. Depreciating asset like a mug. You could pick up a Maserati Ghibli right now for 30 racks, for 35,000. Easy. Easy. 35,000 all day, every day. right? But once again, but it's a Maserati. Well, if you really want the big boy Maserati, then you would get a Quattroporte. Ooh. If you really want the Maserati, the one that look like a mobster car, you get the Quattroporte. If you want the one that's really inspired by Ferrari, you get the Quattroporte. Right? But the lifestyle, the name, the bragging rights, the seeing the men as nothing but a status symbol, a thing, a object to brag about. Right? Men are not human beings, they're human doings. Nothing more than an accessory that indicates a luxurious lifestyle. You have a man, he provides you a certain lifestyle. You're in a relationship with a man, he provides you a certain lifestyle. What's the point of being in a relationship with a man if he's not providing you a certain lifestyle? Especially if you have feminist tendencies. If you have feminist tendencies and you see relationships with men as inherently oppressive, then if a man ain't paying for his time to be with you, then what is he doing exactly? All right. So that's what it is. You know that my response is way longer than what Army had going on. He was in and out in like less than 7 minutes. Mr. Z been here for an hour. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, right? And GC says sacrilegious GC. No, I'm playing. As a man who that doesn't give a f about cars, I cannot wait until subscription self-driving car service are the norm. GC, those women don't give a f about cars neither. It's just a ton, 2 tons of metal, glass, rubber, plastic, right? Maybe a little bit of wood here and there that they get to show off to their friends as some type of look at what I'm doing with my life, or look at what a man was able to provide for me. Yes, exactly. Status symbol. That's all it is. That's all it is. So even when we do get to the place of like, I think Volvo has a subscription service thing they're doing with their cars where like they bundle everything, the car insurance, all the maintenance. Literally all you do is drive the car. I think I recall Volvo having some type of kind of deal with that, where it's insured, pretty much everything, tire rotations, oil changes, you just pay one flat car payment a month and it covers all of that. If that goes industry wide, that's it. Because like the women, they don't care. And even if when cars truly become autonomous and self-driving, they just want to be look at what I got. And it's not as if men are not engaging in that also to a certain extent. Let's be clear. But men are not exhibiting the same type of I need this lifestyle or nothing. And that's what's also hurting women. Because they didn't think that men could be satisfied with internet porn. They never thought it was going to be they never thought that men would rather pleasure themselves than go on dates with women. Yes. Especially when 9 times out of 10 for a lot of average dudes, that date ain't gonna lead to nothing. All you did was just spend at least what 40, $50 on the cheap end, on the more expensive end, depending on what city you live in, maybe $250 for what? For what? Right? And Trell says men engage in that behavior as a way to attract women. They love shiny things. Somewhere is Dave Chappelle saying, "Gotcha, bitch." Right? Detroit. Both of my cars use premium fuel only. Not even suggested. Premium fuel only. Premium fuel is the devil. Especially when you see people spending 50 cents less than you per gallon, 75 cents, $1 less than you per gallon. It's the worst. Indigo said, Casamigos, right? And you can't even sneak and do mid grade. It says only, right? Excuse me, I said 92. 93. Sorry, 93. Right. So and on the certain places I'm not sure. I know a lot of you on the West Coast. I don't think y'all have 93. Y'all have 91, right? But over here we have 93 in Florida, right? So I'm about to close out. I just wanted to bring this to y'all. Check the link in the description. Like I said, Army is in one and done in less than 7 minutes, right? And it really gives not so much. It gives men something to think about, right? And that is something that I think black men are gonna be a spearhead of, right? Women say we're not just you know here to be barefoot and pregnant. Well, are men just here to provide you a lifestyle and die, right? As Jason Black said about Ebony K. Williams and her infomercial, right? Shout out to Lion, her sperm infomercial. That is truly objectifying men. And I think it's going to be black men that are going to be on the cutting edge and spearhead changing this idea of men not being human beings, being human doings, right? And that's something we really have to push forward, that men, particularly black men, are not just here to service other people and then die. And when I say service, I mean it in every way possible, including the disgusting way, the LGBTQ way. Anyway, yeah, we're not just here to service people and then die, to provide for people and then die, right? And these are the people that talk about, you know, objectifying women. Our society objectifies women. The same people that look at you as nothing but a walking wallet talk about objectifying women. And now with the Ebony K. Williams of the world, all you are is your genetic material. And these are the people, right? So yeah, lifestyle, life or lifestyle. Um, like I said to the funky academic army, for most of these women, it's lifestyle, lifestyle or nothing. Let's be very clear, lifestyle or nothing. Better you and better uses in my Ebony K in my Ebony voice. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to read this shit. Um, I've secured 2 vials of black sperm. Go get you some, ladies. Oh my god. First of all, like before I end out, I just want to. Damn, I was gonna use the wrong phrase for this particular thing. uh, I'm gonna use it anyway because it's funny. Let's rub their faces in it. Did we call it or did we call it? Where is Kim Foster now? Where is Yanni now? Where's Chrissy now? Chrissy said we only care because she's our preference, right? Yanni was on some you go girl. Kim Foster was like, I told y'all about class, you go girl. Oh, now y'all care? Now y'all care about class? Now y'all care about, working class men? Okay, yeah, right. And did we call it or did we call it? 2 months later? Was it even 2 months later? Was it even? So she got eggs frozen and she got vials of sperm. What you concocted over there? She gonna concoct a whole baby in a pastry dish. Who cloned Tyrone? Anyway, goddamn. Well, now we know who the answer. Now we know the answer of who cloned Tyrone, right? Or they cloned Tyrone. What's the title of the movie anyway? I saw it. It's a really good movie. That's a really good movie, by the way. Y'all should check it out. I ain't gonna spoil it. Y'all check that movie out. See, Trail said "Test Tube Baby," and then I thought of the song "Throat Baby," and I just removed those lyrics and put those lyrics. Somewhere is a like one of those like rap comedian guys that can like transform the song "Throat Baby" into "Test Tube Baby," and that would be a masterful song if we could just have like you know videos and pictures of like Ebony K. Williams and like all these other type of women, right? Especially the women I covered the other day when I were like talking about like freezing their eggs because the men are not on their level type thing. Better you said this might be a super villain origin story we watching. You see me, right? And quite frank, I mean, like if you listen to some of the women talk, I mean, what do they sound like? But like these super villains, right? You know, Ostefko told you she smiled when she saw Will Smith slap Chris Rock, and she went all the way back to what elementary school, middle school, with her build up of resentment towards black men, black boys. Sorry, black boys, right? Ostefko told you she smiled. If that's not super villain, right? Kim Foster thinks she one of these posh super villains in one of these cartoons or animes, right? Or y'all remember when we thought Byakuya was like a villain in Bleach? She's one of these high sedity, right? Better than you. I'm a better class than you, right? Yanni told you what 16-year-old me needed a hug. You all, wait, what are you in your, I think she's in her early 30s now, talking like that? Yeah, these are super villains. We watch Cynthia G transformation. If that ain't a super villain, talking about aborting black male babies and pretty much admitting I'm going to try to destroy the black community. If that's not super villain, y'all notice who keep on bringing these people to us? Shout out to you, boys. Hey, Jason Black, we saw you distance yourself from Boyce. You said you're never gonna say who it is. We know it's Boyce, dear Mr. Jason Black. So you had him, on stage for whatever event you had or whatever. You saw that he was fake as hell, and you distanced yourself, and that's why you don't say his name anymore. Gotcha. Tariq saw it, said something tacitly, and then kind of pulled back a little bit, right? So in bed with the Asian dude that talked about pretty much when Boyce turns on the waterworks, this is a good time to get a whole lot of money. Bought us Cynthia G, bought us Paris Milan. Goddamn, right? Bought us what's his face Tulsa real estate fund, Jay Morrison, right? But that's actually a perfect lifestyle, right? Selling a lifestyle. That's definitely what Jay Morrison was selling. Taking the pictures in front of the mansion, making it seem like you'll invest your little money, you'll blink your eye, and you'll be a millionaire, right? Talk about lifestyle, you know. Michi X, exactly Detroit. Zaza Ali, Vicky Dillard. Now Paris Malone is just rage porn content, everything. She just put out a video. I'm gonna check it out. Pretty much talking about some sister that's a doctor or something like that, and her man offed her or something. Mother of I think a 3 year old or a 3 month old. Just nothing but rage. But you bought her to us, boys. You sanctioned her. And Cynthia G, oh my God, the neo-Nazi herself, the wannabe white feminist herself. Paris defecated on you, and then she just defecated on all black men. Cynthia G don't even acknowledge you, and she defecated on all black men. Thank you, boys. Thank you. Lifestyle, right? On that note, there ain't no point. He's a PhD. I'm not. I'm a community college dropout. and he got me by years, by decades. So, you know, and on that note, we'll pause right there. That it's just that, yeah. I did not want to end out on that note, but geez. And we'll close out right there. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. We'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease, right? But yeah, I ain't even gonna read that out loud. Better you, right? No, I think Black people find themselves in an interesting position. Like I said before, these people know we're desperate. They know we want to see Black people win. They know Black people want to feel like we're doing something with our money, that we're not just spending our money on quote unquote Jordans and weave, right? They know we want to see Black people own something and be movers and shakers, and and kind of do it somewhat kind of sort of outside of the system, right? Do it our own way, quote unquote, our own way. They know. That's what the Asian guy was telling you, right? They know. Once again, they clone Tyrone. There's a lot of like in the backdrop, especially. I'm not gonna move. You know what? I'm not even gonna ruin the movie for y'all that didn't watch it. But listen to what they're saying. What they're saying when they really start to discover what's going on, right? Oh, GC said, what Asian guy? The Asian guy I was working with Boyce a few years ago. A tape leaked of him talking about Boyce, and Boyce turning on the waterworks, and that's when the money start flowing, etc., etc. You know, and essentially, he was saying he don't believe in this, and Boyce don't believe in this. Essentially, right? But they know. Look, everybody knows how much Black people want to see Black people win, and some of us are way more skeptical before we start putting our money anywhere. And then the rest of us is like, no, I'll gamble. I'll do it. All right, then. You know, it's one thing to lose $500. Yeah, it might sting a little bit. But for those of you that was investing 2, 5, 10 racks, woo, 2,000 still that hurt. But 5 and 10, oh boy, woo, ooh, yeah, about that, right? Trail, boy, hey, hey, Trail. We all talk about her. Me and my coworkers been talking. Batty, Batty, uh, official like stamped, right? Where you at, Chrissy? Colorism and futurism and texturism and There's a dark chocolate sister that came on the scene, and we niggas can't keep her name out their mouth. Black men cannot keep her name out their mouth. Oh, don't tell me that, GC. I did not know that. Oh boy. You always find out something. You be like, God, don't worry. That's just another Tika Sumter moment for me. Because when I first saw Tika Sumter, I was like, God damn, who's that? And my younger sister was like, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. And all I did was type her name in on Google, saw Buddy Rowe, and I was like, well, on that note, it was that quick. Right? So it happens. And it wasn't just Buddy Rowe, it was certain comments on interviews, and you're like, oh, you're one of those. Right? What else? Aisha Taylor too. When I was way younger, I was like, who the hell is this tall, cute tree? What the right? Then you see Buddy Rowe and you're like, and I was younger, I was way younger. I'm like, okay. Dun, 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 dun. Right? Black women act like they're the only one that be like, ooh, wait, oh, he with a white girl. Oh, yeah. Right? While Chrissy talk about preference. Everybody I just listed was either brown skin, dark skin, very dark skin. What you talking about? You show colorism, texturism, freezerism. I've seen your picture. I know why. I get it. Right. So on that note, yeah, we'll close out for real. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Like I said, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content for the love of God. Um, I'm gonna like I keep on saying this. I really have to start filling my community tab with more stuff that I watch and that I think is y'all will find interesting. Even non Black Manosphere related stuff. Just so that we can be informed, so that we can know. So and then shoot, it's good background information so you can understand what's going on in the world around you, and so that you can prepare your individual self and your friends and family for what's coming, because it ain't looking good. Right. And on that note, we'll close out here. Y'all have a great rest of your night. All right, everyone. Mr. Z out.